Coming up next on Making Moves, we'll meet two key people responsible for getting you the information you need for JTA's new route optimization plan. You might call it the Better Jacksonville Plan 2.0. We'll tell you how JTA is ready to enhance several roadways around the city and how Jacksonville is trying to reduce its biking and pedestrian deaths. I'm Donna Deegan. Those stories and more right now on Making Moves. Hello, and thanks for joining us for another edition of Making Moves. I'm Donna Deegan. Jacksonville is waging a critical fight to make its streets safer, but this campaign targets frighteningly high death and injury rates among people who use crosswalks and those who ride bikes. The city has enlisted the help of JTA and others, including a national biking organization, in an effort to turn things around. Making Moves senior correspondent Terry Casey reports.
A couple of things, we're going to be out in traffic and we want to use proper traffic signals.
A last-minute safety briefing for these bicyclists ready to head out on a long ride down roads and up bridges in search of their own answers to problems that have officials from Washington to Jacksonville and beyond scrambling for answers too. This is all part of a federal initiative to stem and then reverse a rising tide of injuries and deaths to pedestrians and bicyclists in cities all across the country, cities that include Jacksonville.
We know we have a problem. We have to figure out where it is and why it's happening.
Denise Chaplick is the city's bike and pedestrian coordinator. Bill Nesper, with a powerful national bike safety organization, was called in to help the city become bicycle-friendly.
According to the statistics, Jacksonville isn't a bicycle-friendly place.
The stats in a report by Smart Growth America put Jacksonville as third most dangerous city in the U.S., behind Orlando and Tampa Bay, but ahead of the Miami area. Case in point, as bikers roll through Jacksonville, San Marco, and elsewhere, they're frequently forced to ride on roads without bike lanes, a dangerous situation.
We're just beginning to start analyzing and evaluating where for the longest time, and Jacksonville's not alone in this, city has focused on cars, get them through quick, get them through conveniently. Now we're realizing what that has done to our cities. So now we're having to come back and reconsider how we've designed our cities and roads to be more inclusive of these other modes.
A crosswalk shortage is also dangerous. City Council member Lori Boyer heads the Crosswalk Coalition, focusing on crosswalks for the young and the elderly.
Particularly in locations where we have senior living facilities or senior centers where we don't have crosswalks, we need to have a marked crosswalk or a signal for them to get safely across the street. Likewise, Jacksonville does not mark crosswalks for middle schools, and I've had complaints in my district about, a group of kids after school running across the street helter-skelter. It's dangerous. It's dangerous for the kids, it's dangerous for the vehicles. As you know, we have the unfortunate moniker of being the third most dangerous city in the country for pedestrians.
She showed me a map reflecting that.
And it illustrates that there are 91 fatalities and over 900 pedestrians that have been injured in about the last year and a half.
She's introduced a bill which, among other things, is designed to provide a safe pedestrian environment, make the process of justifying and requesting crosswalks easier, fund crosswalk locations, and provide and encourage a manner for pedestrians and bicyclists to share the road with vehicular traffic.
The goal would be to initially maybe 2 new crosswalks in every district, find the most important areas, get those sponsored, get those done this year.
The goal for the bikers is to make it up the ramp and safely across the Main Street Bridge as they head down the home stretch. Bill Nesper has seen enough by now to offer an assessment.
What I saw is that there's a lot of room for improvement. There's going to have to be some focus on getting pedestrians and bicyclists over the bridges, and really trying to not just make it, oh yeah, hey, you can find your way through the sidewalk here, cyclist, but really welcoming them to ride their bikes. That's, I think, the change that needs to happen is offering people more transportation choices.
It's early in the planning and there's a lot to do, but JTA is already involved in the campaign as part of an interagency partnership, coordinating efforts to change the bike and pedestrian environment, working with communities to identify needs and to implement targeted safety improvements through JTA's Mobility Works and its $15 million mobility corridors to help out, as well as being involved in other facets of the plan.
They are a critical player at the table. We don't have the role defined exactly just yet, but they are going to be a player.
Solving the overall problem isn't going to be easy. But as bikers begin to wrap up their street-level fact-finding mission, Bill Nesper says Jacksonville can definitely turn things around.
Get a plan together about how you're going to mitigate, how you're going to address these crashes in the future, and so that you can make intersections safer in these places where these crashes are happening. I think there's a lot of hope, actually.
In downtown, Terry Casey, JTA Making Moves.
Just over 14 years ago, Duval County voters approved the Better Jacksonville plan. The $2.5 billion plan would rely on a half-cent sales tax to fund the building of a new arena, new main library, new county courthouse, along with dozens of construction projects throughout Jacksonville. But when the Great Recession hit, sales tax revenue plummeted and many BJP projects went unfinished. Now, the JTA is reviving several of those unfinished projects and a few new ones as well under its Mobility Works banner. Making Moves Chief Correspondent Bill Milnes gives us a first look at the new plan.
Earlier this year, when the City Council approved an extension of the local option gas tax, it set the stage for the authority to leverage that money into $100 million in bonds to complete several of the unfinished Better Jacksonville Plan roadway projects and build a few more.
We can also look to try to leverage these projects and get more funding from the DOT, from the city, as well as from the federal government.
It's all part of the JTA Mobility Works plan. Work will be done in nearly every sector of the city. JTA provided a potential project list, and then the City Council prioritized that list. That meant every council district got consideration. In total, there are 13 major projects on the list, plus a countywide mobility corridor plan that encompasses improvement in 14 separate locations.
And then those mobility corridors, those are going to be the ones that get the most bang for your buck. There's 14 of them. They're all over the city. We're going to be doing some real good work with upgrading bus pads and bus stops and helping pedestrians and bike lanes, lighting, safety items. Those are going to be the ones that most people get to see quickly and get the biggest bang for your buck on.
One of the first roads to see construction will be Gervin Road on the south side.
Gervin Road is one of the projects we're looking at doing as a design build project. So we're working on the request for proposals on that one now. We hope to have that out advertising on the street for design build contractors to start looking at. Hopefully here, put it out in December or no later than January, so we can get folks looking at that project and hopefully get someone selected maybe March, April timeframe, and have some construction going on this summer for that project.
To the north, Alta Drive will also be expanded to 5 lanes with sidewalks, bike lanes, and railroad crossing improvements. The construction will extend from near Fay Road all the way north to Burkett Lane, just a few hundred yards from New Berlin Road. And on Sutel Drive will come a new transit hub directly across from the Bob Hayes Park.
Our customers over there utilize transit quite a bit, so it's going to be a great thing for them. And with the new route optimization initiative coming on, that part of the world get used even more so.
In downtown, Bill Milnes, JTA Making Moves.
The 24 or so construction projects that Bill just outlined as part of JTA's Mobility Works plan will be an excellent opportunity for area contractors and builders to recoup some of the losses they experienced when the BJP funding dried up and construction was shelved on many of those proposed projects. But as Making Moves correspondent Eugene Lindsay tells us, a recent forum held by JTA showed how Mobility Works is also opening doors for some smaller companies to get a slice of the pie.
As the Jacksonville Transportation Authority began to launch a series of Mobility Works projects that are scheduled to take nearly 5 years to complete with a $100 million price tag, the JTA knows it can't do it alone. That's why they hosted the Blueprint 2020 Partnership Forum. The objective here is to bring together various key players like the City of Jacksonville, Jacksport, the Duval County School Board, and the Jacksonville Electric Authority, all of whom will likely at some point be involved during the execution of the Mobility Works program. But key players are not only large corporations, they are also small businesses. And the JTA wants to make sure small business owners have every opportunity to be involved through its Disadvantaged Enterprise program.
A disadvantaged business enterprise, or a DBE, is a business that is at least 51% owned and controlled by one or more minorities, including women and disabled business owners whose net worth is less than $1.3 million. These types of businesses are classified as economically and socially disadvantaged, and the owners generally have a much tougher time competing in the free market system because of limited capital and credit opportunities. But JTA officials say they are committed to helping these small business owners take part in the Mobility Works program.
Each one of these projects will have a DBE goal assigned to it. So what's great about the DBE program, the prime contractors are actually looking for those DBE firms in order to bid on the contracts.
And that's good news for DBE certified business owner Janet Herrig, who runs an environmental consulting firm. She's hoping her company will be involved in Mobility Works projects on a regular basis.
Environmental consultants are the leading edge of development. So before earth is turned over, before buildings go vertical, to understand where the wetlands are, the listed species like gopher tortoises are, we are required to go ahead, even ahead of the surveyors. So we are part of the bigger whole.
Herrig says this forum offers a chance to gather information and to network with others who could be involved in the projects. And it's a great opportunity for DBEs to prepare for a slice of the Mobility Works pie.
I have spoken to other small business owners from around the United States, specifically around the state of Florida, and JTA is a model of that cooperation between small business and local government needs.
Next month, the JTA will be hosting a series of business development workshops. If your business meets DBE qualifications but you're not yet certified as a DBE, JTA says they're more than happy to help you through the process. With most other agencies, DBE certification can take as much as 4 months to complete. But Ken Middleton tells me that here at JTA, they can have your business certified as a DBE in just 2 to 3 weeks. In La Villa, Eugene Lindsay, JTA, making moves.
If you would like to know more information on how your company can get involved with one or more of the Mobility Works projects, call JTA's Disadvantaged Business Enterprise at 904-630-3157. JTA's Route Optimization Initiative could be the single most critical event in the history of Jacksonville Public Transit. Up next, we'll talk with two ladies who were instrumental in helping to get the word out to the public. Then later, a new trolley service is about to be tested. We'll tell you where when we return.
We all have different reasons.
My mother-in-law is a breast cancer survivor.
We are racing for our friend Laura.
His mom is a breast cancer survivor, and I'm his gym teacher.
I'm an 8-year survivor.
My sister's a survivor. I dedicated this one to her.
This is Dondra. This is my niece, her daughter.
This is the only marathon that I could really think of that does it for a cause, a big cause, a major cause every year.
It's just so much fun. We just like to do it, dressed up and having a good time.
Run Donna 2015. Register today.
If you ever sat at the bus stop and wondered if you missed your bus or if it was running late, you'll never have to wonder that again. Next Bus is coming. With JTA's new Next Bus app, you can track your bus in real time, so you'll always know where it is. No more waiting in the rain or hot sun for a bus that's delayed. No more missed buses because you got there a minute too late. With Next Bus, you can use your computer, laptop, or other mobile device to find your bus or find out when it's arriving at your location. If you don't have a smartphone, no worries. Just call the local Next Bus number on your bus stop sign, type in the 4-digit bus stop code on the sign, and you'll hear the next arrivals. If you want to watch the bus move along its route, click on the live map, select your bus route, and watch the icon move from stop to stop in real time. So whether you use a basic cell phone, the most sophisticated phone on the market, or another device, NextBus will work for you. Never miss your bus again. Use NextBus. Coming to Jacksonville December 1st. You're watching Making Moves, honored by the American Public Transportation Association with its 2014 Adwheel Award for Excellence in Television.
Welcome back to Making Moves. We've talked a lot over the past few months about the JTA's route optimization plan. Every bus route in the system is changing to some degree, making them more direct, more frequent, and more reliable. As you can imagine, that kind of massive transformation doesn't happen overnight. It takes months of planning to prepare for both the riding public and the JTA employees on that new system. So joining me now are two people who have been immersed in that planning: Cheryl Riddick, JTA's Community Engagement Manager, and Making Moves' own Stacey Ellison. Ladies, thank you so much for being with us today. Cheryl, let me start with you, because you're the Community Engagement Manager for JTA, so you've been going out into the public, talking all about this route optimization. So give us an idea of just how extensive that has been.
It's quite extensive. We, in fact, have a team of outreach specialists that their main mission is to infiltrate the community, to be sure that current bus riders and those who are desirous of becoming new bus riders understand the extent of the change, and that literally they know where to get on and off of the new bus system.
Makes sense. And Stacey, you've been helping out too when you're not doing your reports for Making Moves. You've actually been out really on a massive project, getting a video record of every single one of these bus routes. So tell us about all of that and how much work went into that.
Well, it has been a tremendous undertaking. 51 routes, so that's yeah, it's quite a bit. So that's really 102 videos, because we're shooting to and back, wherever that may be from. And I tell you, I have to say I wasn't incredibly familiar with JTA bus routes, and doing this project has really shown how wide-reaching and highly accessible the whole route system is. Truly, every aspect of someone's life can be addressed by hopping on the bus, whether you're going to shop from Gateway to Town Center to Avenues to River City Marketplace. Right. If you have to go to the hospital, bus routes will take you past every major hospital in the area. And when we talk about covering the city, we mean covering the city from Black Creek to the beaches to the airport, all the way to Phillips. There are routes that touch every aspect of the city.
So what did you learn? Well, it sounds like you learned a lot that you didn't know. But is there anything that jumps out at you that you've now become aware of that you really didn't know before?
Well, I think prior to really doing this project, most people would think the bus routes stay kind of on the major corridors, and in many aspects they do. But what I found very interesting is they really do kind of weave in and out of neighborhoods as well. So parts of town, I've been in parts of town I knew nothing about. I'd never been there before. They kind of weave in and out of neighborhoods as well. So say you live kind of tucked back in a corner of town, it's very unlikely that there's not a nearby bus route. So in planning these, planners did a very good job of making the routes very accessible to all living in Duval County. Another really cool thing, an aspect of it, are the park and ride lots. I pass by so many of those in my everyday riding around, and I never even noticed them. Now I always notice them. But it's a great opportunity. Say you're going to a game or going into town for something else and you live in one of the outerlying suburbs, go ahead and park your car, hop on, save the gas, enjoy the ride, and not get stuck in all the traffic.
Boy, those are good things to know.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, what I wonder, Cheryl, is as you were out talking to folks about all these changes, was there one overriding concern that folks had about all this? Because it's a lot.
Yeah, and in a few cases, there are people who are concerned with a change in service that might impact their commute to work or their commute to vital services. And what I've actually experienced in my time there is that the planners listen to their concerns, and I have seen them make a multitude of changes and adjustments to routes to ensure that we don't disenfranchise any of our riders. And so I've been impressed with the care and concern of the folks behind the scenes who are doing this work in response to issues and concerns and questions of our passengers.
So how long has this whole education process been going on then? Because obviously when you undertake anything like this, it's going to take a while, and you're still going to have people that go, oh, you didn't tell me. You know, that's going to happen. Right. How long has this education process been going on?
We've actually been talking about it since the project initiated. It's been about a year or more. We've talked about it in terms of it being at proposal stages, and so proposals have been released to and shared with the public, and we have provided opportunity for them to come to the table and look at their particular concerns and address some issues that might pertain to a larger audience. Some of the folks are representing nonprofit organizations or businesses or communities, and so there have been several proposals that have been created in response to that customer input. And so the actual outreach on the part of the team of folks who wear these blue shirts, in fact, started in full about mid-September.
You know, that's a great point, because I think there's always a place for social media and for people to connect with things like that, but there's nothing that really beats that human contact. And people know when they see that blue shirt, yes, they've got somebody that knows what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so if folks want to take a look at the videos, or they want to find out more about the schedules, where do they go?
Well, actually, the videos are posted on JTA's YouTube. I want to make sure I get the name right so I can make sure that we have it. It's JTA 904. Okay. That is JTA's YouTube page. The videos are accessible there. They're turn by turn direction, so you can really see where every stop is, where the routes stop and start. So it really gives you a great opportunity to kind of chart your course during the day and know exactly what route you need to hop on.
And Cheryl, what about the schedules?
And they can also go to jtafla.com, click on the route optimization icon, and it will take you to information, schedules, bus routes. You can even put in the former bus name and number, and it will pull up whatever the new bus number or route is for you. And so you can click on schedules, have access to all of the information that is needed in this new system.
Is there really an enormous difference in how often the buses are running?
There truly is. We can say that in the former system there were no routes with 15-minute frequency or less. Now there are 10. There were, I would say, 2 routes that ran over at 30-minute intervals, and now there are 20. And so in the old system, if you missed the bus by 5 minutes, you might have had to wait for an hour or maybe even a little more. Now the buses will come along perhaps at 15-minute intervals. And so it makes a real difference. It also makes a difference, we say, quality of life, and some people think that's a lofty statement to say that the public transportation system can do that. But in fact, if someone wanted to accept a second shift job or a late shift job, they might have been able to get there under the old system, but perhaps not home. And so that was a major factor preventing them from doing some things that would improve their quality of life. Now the buses will run perhaps some until almost 1 a.m. and so then it allows for those types of things, for jobs, for career changes.
Well, you know, and beyond that, a lot of folks who maybe in the past would have said, you know, I just don't have time I'd love to take the bus. I'd like to save some gas and take the bus. I don't have time.
Right.
Now they can do that.
Well, and absolutely, and it's interesting you brought up the issue of quality of life, because as we've been riding these routes, we've seen mothers with young children, we've seen elderly people, we've seen professionals dressed to go to work. July in Jacksonville is not a time when you want to be outside waiting an hour, right? So it's a wonderful thing to know that, say I did get to the stop a little late, in 15 minutes I will be able to get on a nice cool bus and head to my destination without the discomfort or even health concerns that might cause some people who are actually heading out.
Well, ladies, we could talk about this all day. It's very exciting. I appreciate your time. We're going to have to leave it there for the moment, but wow, Cheryl Riddick and Stacey Ellison, thank you so much for both joining us this morning. And Cheryl, good luck with the launch.
Thank you very much.
Really, really exciting. And Stacey, of course, we're going to see you on many future editions.
Absolutely.
Of Making Moves very soon. We'll have a complete wrap up of the route optimization launch on our next show, so you'll want to be on the lookout for that. Before anyone took a ride on their new bus route on December 1st, the JTA facilities team had to install new signage at every bus stop location in the city. That's more than 2,000 stops. At each location, the crew installed a new sign and removed the old one. And then they covered the new sign with a bag that listed the old route information so that riders wouldn't get confused on which bus to take before the 12/1 launch. The new signs provide the phone number and stop code for the new Next Bus app, and also features all the new route numbers for that particular location. As you can imagine, it was a lot of hard work over a several-week process. So kudos to Pete Guyton and his team for all their hard work. Still to come, JTA plans to test another trolley route. We'll unveil that location next.
We all have different reasons.
My mother-in-law is a breast cancer survivor.
We are racing for our friend Laura.
His mom is a breast cancer survivor, and I'm his gym teacher.
I'm an 8-year survivor.
My sister's a survivor, and I dedicated this one to her.
This is Dondra. This is my niece, her daughter.
This is the only marathon that I could really think of that does it for a cause, a big cause, a major cause, every year.
It's just so much fun. We just like to do it, dressed up and having a good time.
Run Donna 2015. Register today.
JTA is moving in the right direction. We're finding ways to make your life simpler, easier, and better connected. On December 1st, all JTA routes will change. We want to make sure you have all the information you need about your routes and bus times before these changes take place. It's our priority to take you where you need to go. So, get in touch. To learn more, call 630-3100 or visit us online at jtafla.com today.
Welcome back to Making Moves. The Riverside Avondale Night Trolley runs the first weekend of each month and has become quite popular. So a few months back, the JTA tested a new downtown trolley that would run the same hours and connect downtown to Riverside. This expanded the possibilities for trolley customers on both routes. It was also great for businesses in both sectors.
I think it's really important. It'll help revitalize the downtown area. It's going to actually incorporate a lot of influx of traffic to the businesses around, so to say, the elbow or the core of Jacksonville. And it's really important to actually get people down here because there's a lot of stuff that's been changing and happening, and the people around the city just don't know about it.
Now the JTA will run a full-scale pilot program for the downtown trolley starting in January. This will give JTA a chance to measure the interest over a longer period of time. If successful, the downtown trolley would join the Riverside Avondale trolley in that permanent loop the first weekend of every month. And that wraps up this edition of Making Moves. Thanks for taking the time to join us. We'd like to thank today's guests, Cheryl Riddick and Stacey Ellison, for joining us in studio. And remember, you can catch complete episodes of Making Moves online at jtafla.com and on our YouTube channel, JTA 904. You can also find exclusive web-only content on our Facebook page. So be sure to check that out at facebook.com/JTA Making Moves. For the entire Making Moves team, I'm Donna Deegan. We'll see you the next time we're Making Moves.